Hey, what is up, lovelies? It is Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and I have some pretty upsetting news to share with you guys. A large content creator in the Love and Deep Space community has decided to stop creating content for lads, and this is something that upsets me on a personal level, because the fact that they were harassed so much that they feel like they need to leave, that they feel that they're not safe in this community anymore, is very, very upsetting. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. I'm going to give my opinions. We're going to read everything that's happened, and I'm going to try to give you guys a full perspective on exactly what has unraveled, basically. So let's begin. Lexi, a very popular content creator over on YouTube, she's been covering Love and Deep Space for a while now, since Silas had basically been released, and she was a very strong Silas girly for a very long time. Then Caleb was released, and then, your favorites change over the course of time. Sometimes you prefer somebody else's story than somebody else's, and that's perfectly fine, because that is the purpose of playing an Otome game. You learn about different characters in the game, and you get, you resonate with different characters. You're free to choose who you like, and you shouldn't be forced to liking specific characters or reacting in certain ways. It is very upsetting that this is something that we even have to discuss, because it's like, where did the empathy go, in this community? It's absolutely horrendous. So let's start. This started actually months ago. Lexi's harassment has started months ago, by some CN lovelies who actually, I guess hated her reactions or something. I guess hated the fact that she was a Silas main back in the day, and they were calling her horrible things, making fun of how she looked, saying, "Don't you have a husband? How could you be playing this game?" All of those things, like it's cheating on your husband. I'm like, wait, you're playing a game, guys. Like these are pixels on a screen. Why are you involving her significant other, who I probably think is very supportive of her game, of her career as a content creator playing Love in Deep Space. What frustrates me is just that, you know what? Let's just read what she wrote. She made a thread, basically discussing everything, discussing what had happened to her. Okay, so it starts off, "This isn't intended to cause drama. I'm just being honest. I'm probably going to be moving on to other content away from Love and Deep Space. It's gotten to a point where the constant harassment, belittlement, and standards I'm expected to live up to has become too much for me. I'm grateful for the support over the past year, but my anxiety has gotten worse, and I'm afraid to make most of the content I want to make, because a group of people will ruin it for me. My joy has constantly been stolen, and honestly, I'm kind of over it." And I completely, it's up to her whether or not she wants to continue making lads content or not. If she feels unsafe in this community, then it is the community's fault. It is not her fault. And it's just frustrating, like, she's been one of the most positive people in this space. She doesn't talk about any of the drama that happens in the company or in the cards, or, in the way that the company handles monetization of the game. She doesn't talk about any of those things. She literally just, pulls up a stream, starts playing Love and Deep Space, experiences the cards with you guys, and that's literally it. And yet she is getting a lot of hate for the way she reacts, or the way that she doesn't react, and it's really, really dumb. I put my entire heart and soul into the wedding stream, and I still have people trying to ruin it because I don't react the right way. I didn't do enough. I don't care about X anymore. I've been a content creator for 8 years, and only one community has ever threatened my life. I am always just trying to make everyone happy, but I clearly can't do that. And as I said, making content for this game now gives me anxiety, and I've been trying to ignore it and continue for those that loved what I created, but I think it's become too much for me. People's obsession with what I'm doing, who I'm posting, how many of X posts and merch is just effing weird and scary to me. I do not owe anyone anything. I am grateful for the support, and I am just a girl who creates videos about things that make her happy. That's it. Always. I'm sure some of you will be pleased with this. Yippee to you, I guess. I want to enjoy the game, but that's nearly impossible for me now because it doesn't matter what I do, it's not enough, and I am tired. I am almost 29 years old. It's not worth it to be this stressed out and walking on eggshells all the time. I just wanted to make people smile. I don't deserve death threats and harassment on a daily basis because my main isn't yours, or it's changed, or whatever. I implore some of you to ask, will a random girl on the internet's fave fictional man mean anything to me in 5 years? The answer is no. It doesn't effing matter. It's not that deep for me. I like who I like. I don't need to declare anything to you or anyone. I have consistently pulled nearly every banner the past year to provide people with content they can't afford. If you don't like me, block me and move on. I don't need you in my comments being effing obnoxious every damn day. Get an effing life. If I don't constantly talk about someone, I abandon them. If I post about them, I'm a clout chaser looking for views. I can't win and I don't want to try anymore. I'm sorry, I'm tired, and if I let you down, I'm truly sorry. But I don't think this is for me anymore. I don't need sympathy. I learned to adapt and move on. There are other things for me to do. The world is my oasis, and I'm a talented creator, and thank you again for supporting me and for reading this. I am very, very sad that this is happening to Lexi, where she feels like she has to leave the community because she's been getting harassed, okay? It's not just bullying, it's literal death threats that she's been getting. And to be perfectly honest, I have seen a lot of the crap that goes around in this community, a lot of insults that get thrown so easily at each other. Besides even Lexi, the amount of unaliving comments that people have been giving, and the amount of people who say, you deserve to get graped, it is shocking. It is so abhorrent that there are people in this community that feel okay with saying this to somebody else, to saying this to another person, another human being. I dare these people to look Lexi in the eyes and say these things to her face. I bet you they could not and they would not, because when you're cyberbullying like this, it is just like these really weak people who are trying to do this and scare and fearmonger, and it's just so frustrating, okay? I absolutely hate that this is something that Lexi has been going through nearly 24/7 on everything that she's been doing, okay? So what if her favorite has changed from Silas to Caleb, or so what, she's a multi-stan now? It doesn't matter. You're all still playing the same game. You're all still enjoying Love and Deepspace for the content that they give you. The love interests are created by the same team, okay? It's not like they're pitting you against each other. That's not the point of the game. That is not the point of building a community. And it's just so frustrating, the amount of entitled people who have felt so betrayed by Lexi. And I'm just like, why would you feel betrayed? She is a human being. She can like whoever she wants to. You have no say in what a person, would like to enjoy, okay? Even myself, I played Love and Deepspace because I liked Raphael. I enjoyed Raphael's card. I just saw a preview of it, and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Let me play the game. I started playing the game when there were only 3 love interests, and Zane really caught my attention in terms of his story, about his character and the way that he expresses his love. Each love interest expresses their love differently because of the different stories that they have. You fall in love with the different stories that each one of these characters have. When Silas was released, I liked Silas then. When Caleb was released, I liked Caleb. I'm hopping between all 5 of these guys. That's why I call myself a harem girly, okay? And when Xavier's myth came out, when Lumiere came out and then I saw that like spicy side of him, I liked him too. It's so insane. I don't understand. And now people are saying like, oh, she should have said that, you know, her favorite is now Caleb and it's not Silas anymore. What? Who are you to tell her what to do? Does she have to say? Does she have to make an announcement? Does she have to, you know, declare to the world, I have changed my favorite in Love and Deep? Why? Guys, just let her do what she wants. But clearly she can't, because now she's freaking leaving the community. What bothers me the most too is that there have been people who are saying, oh, she clearly likes Caleb now, and she clearly only likes Caleb now. So then even, what's that called? She still posts Silas stuff, and she's only doing that for clout. And I'm like, at least she freaking likes the game, and she liked Silas before. Even if she's, you know, likes Silas a little bit less, but still likes him, that's still a valid reason of still playing his content and enjoying his content. Like, what, that makes no sense. When there are literal clout chasers in this community that only make Love and Deepspace content because that is the only thing that people watch from them. And it is so frustrating to see people accuse Lexi of somebody who actually genuinely enjoys playing this game. Okay? Somebody who is not a clout chaser. It is just, I'm just like, what? What? And then, I recorded a previous video covering this. I wanted to give it some time, really some breathing room before I really commented and posted up my video. And thankfully I did, because this has spiraled into something else. This user here, Vicky Sa, witness BBCB, I don't know, guys. Call me a dickhead, but I don't understand why you are even affected by someone's opinion on your content while saying that their joy should not rely on yours, when it works both ways. You'll have haters anyway because you're a big streamer and it has flaws. You can't win here, indeed. For anyone who private quoted, I'm not saying that the people who bullied Lexi have any right to do so, but as a media person, she needs to learn to ignore them rather than feed their egos. In a large community like Love and Deepspace, especially when you're one of the main streamers here, everyone's eyes are on you and you can't do anything about it. You're not just a girl, you have an audience and it's diverse, from immature children to adults. They can all be degenerates. Literally, people in her comment section, this Vicky Sa person, everybody in her comments are calling her a dickhead, because why in the world would it be okay to just expect somebody to have hate? Like, look, I understand when you're famous you will have haters and all of that, but she's like talking like she can handle the hate if she was a big streamer or if she was a big content creator. And this genuinely actually ticked me off. I posted something on my own Twitter here. Let's find it first. That was part 2. We're gonna cover that next. Okay, so here I said, it blows my mind how insensitive people can be. Just ignore it is easier said than done, especially from someone who doesn't have a platform themselves. Even if you block someone, 5 more will show up to harass you. People go as far as to make throwaway accounts just to hate on others. The amount of spite and unjust anger strangers send CCs is crazy. And because Lexi is such a large CC, she'd need a whole ass team of mods just to keep up with the hate. Sure, there are some creators who can deal with that constant death threats and people who say you deserve to get graped in DMs, but any individual has the right not to want that and step away from the limelight. Seriously, who the heck are you to criticize someone who just wants peace of mind and to get away from this toxic side of the fan base? I'd love to see you try to get barraged by death threats, harassed and criticized from head to toe, and see if you can withstand the mental strain 24/7 for years. CCs are people too, not donkeys you throw your opinions at and expect them to slop it up and agree with everything and smile through the abuse. Clearly you could tell I was a little bit heated when I wrote this, because I don't typically talk like this. Oh, but seriously, that genuinely, pissed me off. I was like, are you kidding me? You're treating CCs like they're not people. Okay, you can't show a little bit of empathy towards them. Yeah, pragmatically, they're always gonna get some sort of hate. But, you know, some people just can't handle that. Some people don't have the mental fortitude for that, and that is fine. But some people are built for that, okay? And they're the ones who, like, grow into, like, I don't know, million follower, whatever shenanigans. Because they can also generate the money to build a team around them to protect them from this kind of hate online. You know, it is just, I don't know. Like, some people genuinely cannot handle that kind of hate, and that is perfectly fine. That is normal. You know, somebody, especially somebody who is incredibly, like, empathetic towards others, cannot cope with the amount of hate that is thrown at them constantly, okay, for months, for maybe even a year already. Like, that is tiring to deal with. So then Uvi showed me this screenshot here. Basically, Vicky Saw was saying it's the attitude. Since Caleb dropped, she couldn't care less about Silas, but still been saying she mains him. Like, girl, be honest and don't pretend at least. I, as a Silas main, want to enjoy the card with you since you playing it, but all I've got is yeah, whatever, I'm a pipsqueak. So Uvi says here, yeah, you're a dickhead. It's not normal. It's not normal, that amount of hate. Stop normalizing people hating on streamers and CCs just because they're a media person and should expect hate. Nah, you're weird at AF and also part of the problem. Yeah, I mean, look, I said I don't care what the heck is wrong with people like Vicky Sa. You can have your own fave. So anyone, oh my god, I can't even read. So can anyone else. It's a damn game. In fact, Info would love if you made more than one LI because you'd spend more money. So what the hell is wrong with being a harem girly or liking more than one person or even, God forbid, switching your main? You're not gonna die if someone prefers these pixels over other pixels. What was the point? Genuinely, this is the part of the loud minority of Psy mains that give a bad rep to the rest of the Psy fans. It's people like this who paint targets on all Psy fans. This is so disappointing and frustrating. It's like it just snowballs into so much crap, guys. It genuinely does snowball into a lot of different shenanigans, and like this is not even the end of it. Okay, there are more people who just, you know, are commenting and getting mad at this Vicky Saw person, but there's also you know, this, hold on, let's go down off topic, but I think this is why Lexi is getting tired of all this crap. These people even accuse her of being biased towards Caleb and said her reactions weren't genuine. I think the person already deleted their comment under her vid reaction to Caleb's wedding card. So there was this one person here who said, hey, I just wanted to share something as a longtime follower. Lately, it's been feeling like there's a strong bias towards Caleb in your content, especially in the thumbnails, reactions, and outro posts. That little thanks for watching screen. It's totally okay to have a preference, but it gets a bit frustrating when it seems like you're still trying to present it as equal love for both Silas and Caleb, when the difference is pretty clear. As someone who followed you for your Silas content, it's hard not to feel a little bit sidelined. Some of your recent reactions to Silas come off as less genuine, and it's disappointing because I'm like, this is crazy. This is exactly why I said some of them are insane. They literally analyze her every reaction. They twist her words and repost her video on Red Note just to bait the CN Silas girlies into mocking her. That's straight up psycho parasocial behavior, so weird and creepy. She got a lot of hate during Catch 22 because she said she didn't think Silas' card store was the best. Also for saying his permanent myth is underwhelming. Even something even Psy mains agree on. Heck, I agree with that. Guys, Silas's main, like his standard myth card, felt like a Bond story, and I'm pretty sure I even said that in one of like my reviews when Silas first came out. His first memory falls short of all of the other love interests' first memories. Myth cards. right? And it's just, I'm like, what? Because, you know, the whole precedent of these OG3 love interests, they were all in like fantastical themes. You had, for Seer, for, Zane, you had, Raphael in, that desert area. And then you had Xavier, back on his home planet being like the prince and all of those things, and then suddenly you have Silas making salad. Like, it's kind of, it does fall off, and I don't understand why that is such a bad opinion to have. And they dropped her after Kale's release because she wasn't a solo main anymore. So what if you're not a solo main, guys? At least you're appreciating the game. You know, that's the point. So this is what, you know, Lexi had posted before. I spent 7+ hours doing 3 cards and setting comparison Silas's fell flat story-wise for me. Story-wise, you know? I did not tell anyone not to pull for the card, lol. Am I allowed to have an opinion? At least they acknowledge I'm Caleb's wife, I guess. This is a DM that she received. Leave Silas alone, Caleb's wife. You can like Caleb for sure, but why did you diss Silas's card and ask people not to pull for his card? You are used to be my favorite reactor, and I won't say anything mean to you. All I will do is unfollow and block you. Be true to yourself, okay? Obviously, Caleb is your top priority, and don't pretend you like Silas anymore. People were originally mad I only vibed with one love interest. Now people are mad I vibe with multiple. I can't win. So then, let's see. I feel like Caleb is one you should pull for. Sai is the one you should skip. Look, I mean, if you're trying to talk to your fan base and tell them which cards you have an opinion about, like, honestly, even I face this. When I did a tier list of all of my, you know, favorite 5-star cards and which memories I enjoyed, people were upset that I didn't react well to Raphael's cards. And people left comments under that video saying, how come you didn't appreciate Raphael, yada yada yada. And I'm like, guys, this is my opinion. My opinion is not going to affect you. My opinion shouldn't affect your gameplay. It's actually crazy. And look, if Lexi wants to say that you should skip the banner, maybe it's because you should just save it for some other banner that's worthwhile. Okay? She's not trying to, like, pull down Silas's sales or anything like that, you know. That is not the point of her commentary. Her point of her commentary is to share her opinion, especially about how these stories are written. The fact that whoever screenshotted this blurred out Caleb's face here is absolutely insane. Okay, that is some crazy actions right there. But it is very, very upsetting. And then some people who used to support her, you know, would then turn on her complete 180 and start making fun of her appearance and calling her a traitor. And then they started to ridicule her online. I'm like, why would you bother to do that kind of stuff? I cannot blame Lexi for wanting to leave this community and feel safe, you know? It is the amount of hate that she's been getting is so sad. It genuinely is so sad. Oh, wait, this is crazy because I've seen this discourse too. Same people that used to support her did a complete 180 and started making fun of her appearance, called her a traitor, and ridiculed her. Exactly. It was disturbing how quickly some people turned on her. Now, I won't pretend that Caleb mains haven't been weird towards her because they've sent her threats before. Just saying the whole "you don't like Sai anymore" thing is something that I've noticed and have been reoccurring for a while now, even to this day, as you see in your screenshot. Not denying that too, because there are some really bad apples everywhere, because I remember she posted about Raph and Zave mains being weird towards her, but she could at least she could get past that. But when fellow Silas stands turn on her because she favorited Caleb a little more, must have hit her harder. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's like you can't. This is something that also very frustrates me about this community. You guys, like, some of you guys literally make a lot of these content creators who make wonderful things for this community feel so unsafe to share their own opinions. I've talked to a few CCs, you know, who have shared their opinions with me and then told me, I don't know if I can say this on you know, on my accounts. I don't know if I could say this because people get a little weird when you start questioning all of these things. And I'm like, why would you feel weird about questioning, you know, like Zane's lore or why Zane acts a certain way or something like that? Nobody should feel weird about it if you just want more like information. If you're purposefully trying to, you know, throw shade and purposefully trying to like hurt the popularity of a certain love interest, then I understand why people would be upset with you. But trying to learn more about the game, understand things, share your own opinions, that should be fine. But this community, I don't know, it's like, maybe it's because the CN lovelies can be very, very backhanded with how they find ways of kind of like destroying the reputation of different love interests that they're not mains of. Like, there is so much drama that circulates around that. There is currently something that is happening with Xavier right now, and it is very upsetting to see that because like, we're all literally playing the same freaking game, we're enjoying the same set of pixels on the screen, and yet we can't get along because people are either too sensitive, or they're too protective and they're too defensive, or they've just got their heads up their asses. Like, seriously, it makes me so upset that this is the situation that we're in right now. This is the situation that has pushed Lexi to leave this community. Okay, and again, it's just some people in this community, just some, you know, the loud minority of people in this community genuinely ruin it for the rest of the lovelies out there. And I'm just so sad. Look, I said there are actual clout chasers in this community, and yet y'all target someone who actually enjoys this game and plays it because they like it. And I'm just like, can someone explain to me how Lads Twit is a safe space for women if you can't like a certain love interest without getting harassed off the internet? It is all very true, guys. It is all very true. It is all so toxic. I am so sad that this is something that Lexi had to go through. Like, people say that Twitter is incredibly toxic. You know, the community is incredibly toxic, and I get that. I see it. It's very easy to see these kinds of things. But you know, people can also be toxic on YouTube. People can also be toxic on Reddit. It's just, you know, I don't know, guys. It makes me upset. It makes me just feel so sad because there are content creators out there who genuinely just want to enjoy this game, share their own opinions, and cultivate a community that share the same opinions, you know? And that's why I appreciate my community so much. You guys, you know, you know me. I'm being as real as possible on this channel without, you know, giving away my address or doxing myself. But it's so true. Like, it's very frustrating seeing how there's such a lack of empathy on the internet. I don't know. I just wish that people would be more empathetic, I guess, and understand each other more, I guess. I don't know. It's just dumb to fight over pixels like this. To send death threats. To send grape stuff. Look, why? Why waste your time doing those kinds of things? If you genuinely hate it, if you genuinely dislike it, then just ignore it. Block it. You know, put it in your blocked keywords or something. Don't engage. Why would you engage in it? Even to make multiple accounts just to share your hate, which apparently has happened to me. I've seen, I didn't notice, I took a screenshot of it recently, but it's just wild. Anyway, I'm sorry to bring you guys some really sad news. If you guys have any free time, go send Lexi some love, especially if you're a fan of hers, especially if you enjoy her content. Just go send her some love. I think she's actually taking a break right now from, you know, the internet and whatnot. I hope she does, because this is just ridiculous. This kind of drama is ridiculous. And I feel bad for her. Okay, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you've watched this far into the video, leave a crow or an apple in the comments down below. Alrighty, thank you all so much for watching. I am Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you lovelies in the next video. Bye bye now.